Hello again, Michael Friedberg here from beautiful North Carolina. First of all, apologies for the lack of a shave video review last week. I was out of the country on a personal trip. I hope that didn't cause too much personal anguish. I have two new products for review today. The first is a shaving soap that was very generously gifted to me. It is, I know this will be hard to tell from what it looks like, but trust me, this is the Creed Irish Tweed shaving soap. It is a very hard puck. It is a vegan soap. Oh, man, and the scent on this soap, it's amazing. It smells super posh. If you're Paul H, that's how you would describe this. This is a posh soap. It smells, it just smells beautiful. It smells kind of aristocratic and rich, like everything in your life is Aston Martin rather than Yugo. And that's no slam on the Yugo, but it's no Aston Martin. And the soap, the scent is just absolutely stellar. So I'm gonna be shaving with that today. It comes in this red wooden dish. I don't know if this is the original. I think that the current one is like a beechwood dish. I don't know if this is the original or not. But as you can see, there's a little bit of discoloration from the color of the bowl that's seeping into the soap. Today's razor is going to be the fine aluminum Slant, which I will assemble in front of your very eyes. There is the top cap. Today's blade is going to be, if I can turn this up the right way, a Gillette Platinum. I've used a Pole Silver this as well. I think the Platinum actually did a better job than the Pole Silver Super Iridium. Base plate. All right, and in fact, I am using a washer on there as well. Now, as I'm sure you remember from previous reviews, this is a very, very light razor. It has almost the exact same short style handle. The head design has been sort of tuned and optimized a little bit. Very light. Yeah, just a beautiful razor though, all aluminum. It does have still, like the original, some definite overhang there, so just watch out for the end tab there. Okay, now the brush for today. The brush for today is a bit of a story because it is not the brush I started the week off with. I actually started off with a badger brush, a big badger brush, but I've switched to this boar brush for one very simple reason, and that is that I have really struggled with this soap. So for the first couple days, I simply could not build a lather with this soap. I would load and load and load the badger brush. It would really pick up basically no soap, and what soap it did pick up would produce, in the scheme of things, a very weak thin lather. So I've switched to this boar brush and things have definitely improved. But I have got to say, as delicious as this soap smells, and this soap really does smell very, very good, I am not getting the kind of performance out of this that I would expect. Now, this is one of the interesting things about these kind of reviews. I know for a fact that the person who sent me the soap loves the soap and is getting great shaves out of it, getting a thick, creamy, voluminous lather. I, on the other hand, I am not. So I'm going to load with the boar brush, and I'm going to load pretty heavy. Boar brush has been soaking. I have shaken out most of the water so that it's damp, but certainly not wet. And I'm just going to start. And I am going to exert a little bit of pressure. I'm going to continue to really push down. I'm going to occasionally hold it upside down a little bit. And I'm just going to work this. And I'm going to take my time because, like I said, this soap for some reason has proven to be very difficult to get going. And you can see there's a bit of a kind of a frothy, watery lather already forming. You can hear it dripping into the sink. At this point on the badger brush, really nothing would have been happening. It was like just, yeah, like nothing was happening. Now you can see there's a lather starting to form around the outside of the bowl, so that is a much better sign. I'm going to drip just a touch of water onto the surface of the soap. I'm going to keep loading. Oh, wow. I mean, you get it wet and the scent just continues to build. All right, that looks so much better than it did with that badger brush. The badger brush was making zero impact. No, not a dent, not a touch on the soap. All right, let's take a look at the surface. See, that doesn't look super loaded. I mean, there's soap in there, but not a tremendous amount. So I'm going to scoop off what is gathered on the exterior of the bowl. Just add that to the tip of the brush. Now I know what you're thinking. The second you try to load that on your face, it's just going to fall into the sink. Hope not. But my face. Now I should also say that today, for the first time in a long time, I had to shave yesterday. So this is not 2 days worth of growth. This is less than a day because I had to attend the wedding of a colleague's son. We've been friends for a very, very long time. I was really quite honored to be invited to their wedding. Very nice ceremony. The previous week, Saturday, a week ago, we were attending a memorial for my wife's father. So interesting how the two weekends go. Now you can see that is definitely building up a lather. I'm going to add a bit of water. It feels okay, but doesn't feel fantastic. So it feels a little slick and a little creamy, but not very yet. Yeah, a little sticky. So let's add just a touch of water to that. Scent strength is strong, but certainly not overpowering. And it does open up a bit when you lather it, so if you enjoy it off the puck, you're going to really enjoy it while you're using it. There we go. I know that looks pretty good, but we'll see how it actually ends up shaving. But yes, do I feel aristocratic, wealthy? A little bit. All right, here we go. Fine aluminum slant. This is absolutely one of my favorite razors, by the way. Simple, very simple design, lightweight, short handle. So if those things bother you, then maybe this isn't the razor for you. But these are, generally speaking, very clean, very close, sort of effortless shaves. Now, I've had some questions about the passes and sort of the direction that I'm shaving it. So let me just clarify sort of how the hair grows, and I'll explain as I go through it sort of why I'm holding the razor at the angle that I am. The hair in the middle of my face tends to grow down, but only in this one narrow strip. The side, it begins to grow at an angle, and then it turns towards the ear at the end. And the same is true for my neck. So it actually grows that direction here, but generally speaking, it grows, it sort of turns. So you have to adapt to that while you're shaving. Now, generally speaking, I don't shave, strictly speaking, with the grain here. That's only because I'm starting, and I just, by the nature of it, I just sort of go down with it there. Now my chin, it grows both straight and at an angle, so you'll see that in the against the grain pass. So here, just following the angle of the hair, and then straight out towards the ear, because that portion does grow essentially that direction. Now here, as I've shown in other videos, I'll start shaving straight and then I'll slowly modify the angle as we go. Now the other thing is, there will be some strokes that I make that I simply do because they are comfortable and they feel like the right thing to do, and you should do the same. Don't follow these shaving patterns slavishly. You sort of need to let the comfort of the shave guide you. So here, even though this hair grows like this, it is extremely flat, and because I can't actually bring this arm all the way back, this is actually a bit awkward, always a bit awkward. So in this case, it's mostly across, and that's fine. So the thing about this soap is that, one, I don't find it that slick, and two, it has very, very little residual slickness. I mean, in some cases, some soaps, they don't feel that slick, but then when you rinse, they just become sort of bring out the slickness. That is not the case here. Like, I find that it is just not that slick, and when it gets wet, it doesn't seem to jump up a level. All right, the across the grain pass. Plenty of lather still in the brush. I did load quite heavily, so I would expect there to be plenty in there. As you can see, it's kind of moving to the bottom, so what I'll do is I'll just pull that up. And you can see there's a bit of shine, but still a little bit airy in the scheme of things. Scent still remains brilliant. So good. There we go. All right, pass number 2, across the grade. So now, because the hair grows towards my ear in this case, I'll always start with a straight down stroke here, because this really is across. And then because the hair grows this direction and turns slightly and then straightens out, what I'll do here is I'm going to go against like this. And this is still against, just in the opposite direction. Same thing on this side, straight down to begin with. And I'm just tilting my head down to try to create as flat a surface as I can. Yes, you can make jokes about my incipient jowls now, that's fine. Straight across. And then up again. And here, this is of course mostly across the grain, but not completely. Now the hair grows straight down and starts to turn. So because it grows this direction, I'm going to shave that way. Come around there. And then here, because it's kind of a mix, I'm just going to go straight. I've caught myself under here every day, by the way. And that is an indication to me. This is one of the spots where the lack of slickness is really telling for this soap. So, for example, that stroke there, it just feels like the right thing to do, and that's why I do it. Now, across. Taking care about the overhang. I just have to watch that side over there. Yeah, and that is just 100% because soap, for me, it just is not slick. Lather looks okay, a little bit airy. No residual slickness really in the scheme of things. Certainly not compared to many, many other soaps that I've used. All right, so now this is going to be the against the grain. I may need to reload. In fact, I'm going to just pull some of the lather off the bowl there. I'm just going to do a very light against the grain pass here because I did shave less than 24 hours ago. Let's squeeze out some of this lather. There we go. And try to bolster the spots where I need as much slickness as I can get. Oh, wow. Yeah, and the thing about it is, I really, really do appreciate this. I mean, it's a very generous gift. This is a very expensive soap in the scheme of things. It's not a soap that I would normally ever purchase. I'm incredibly grateful for the opportunity to be able to use it. And it also is an interesting object lesson in just how differently soaps work for people. all right, this is the against the grain, so I'm going to go this direction and then slowly turn to try to match the direction of the growth. Which on the cheek is like this, but then here, because the hair grows that way, trying to take care of that. Same thing up. Yeah, normally this razor just sails through this part of the shave, and it has not done so this week. So here, I'm going to go against, but also against, because it's a mix of hair directions. Mustache, kind of the same thing, sort of that direction. I never shave it really against the grain up here because I just hate how it feels. That, my friends, is enough of that. Glorious scent, but in the end, I gotta say, kind of a really, sorry to say, a dissatisfying shave. That soap is just, at least for me, is really not up to snuff. There are other soaps I think that are far less money that offer a much better performance. For example, the fine hard soaps, I would choose one of those hard soaps over that soap in a heartbeat. The scent on that is amazing, and they've done a stellar job with that, but in terms of the benefit and the usability of the shaving soap, not so great. And it's also a little bit drying, and by a little bit I mean it's drying. Yeah, this is a real bummer, but you know what? For the people that have the soap and for whom it's working, so they're getting a really good performance out of the soap, and it smells as good, that's a 2 for 2, and I say power to you. Okay, let's close off the shave with another quasi Creed product. This is the new aftershave from Captain's Choice. It's a new scent. It's called the Venture, and this is a replica or an homage to Creed Aventus. So this is kind of a double Creed shave for me today. This is just a very simple set of ingredients: alcohol, witch hazel, fragrance, and glycerin. Now, whatever the ratio is of alcohol to witch hazel in this aftershave, it is spot on for me. Feels very, very good on the skin. There is the brief initial hit of the alcohol, and then sort of the astringent and toning qualities of the witch hazel. A very slight slick feel because of the glycerin, but not like slippery at all. Feels like aftershave, not like a balm or anything like that. And the scent is light, and for me the initial impression is not so much of the actual fragrance, but that begins to build slowly and steadily. And if you've ever smelled Creed Aventus or any of the clones, just a delightful scent. Now, there's something interesting about this aftershave, at least for me, is that I don't smell it on myself that much. I can smell it, but it's not like it's a strong scent, but it is definitely noticeable to other people around you. So this is one of the aftershaves I've used where when I've walked into the kitchen after a morning shave, my wife's looked up every day this week after I started using the aftershave and said, "Man, you smell good." And that tells me that aftershave is giving off the scent. Very nice shave, other than that one spot which I've been struggling with all week. Wow, okay. You know what, for a quick shave, not too shabby. Not great, but not too shabby either. All right, let's call it quits right there. Let's go ahead and review the products we've used for today. Let's start off with, and apologies, there's lather all over the bowl, but I will rinse that in a moment. The Creed Green Irish Tweed shaving soap, hard pucka soap, brilliant scent. For me, however, I have to say in the scheme of things, disappointing performance. Lather is not slick for me, not that protective. Rinses very dry, so you have just no residual slickness and drying on the skin. So if this soap is working for you, then fantastic. I'm just passing on my experiences, and so far, that is absolutely not a soap that I think I would buy again. The scent is not enough to make up for, at least in my experience, the deficiencies of that soap, sadly. I'm extremely grateful that I got it because it's been a wonderful experience to use it, and it smells amazing. But in terms of shave soap, just not there for me. Today's razor, fine aluminum slant. This is, generally speaking, an incredibly effective razor for me. I know it's light, I know it's small, still works very, very well with a range of blades. Just generally speaking, an effortless, easy shave. Unfortunately, I think taken down a notch by the shave soap this week. The brush, Semogue Owners Club, which did a number on that soap, much better than the Badger. And there was a previous question, I want another comment on YouTube about a person who was, I think, sort of promoting Badger over Boar. And for me, I would almost always choose a Boar brush over a Badger for some of the same reasons. I think they end up being very soft in the face. They deal with a wide range of soaps very easily. They're actually, in the scheme of things, easy to break in. I don't find them to be rough or scritchy once you've taken care of them. And for me, if I had a choice, I would always go for the Boar. Badgers feel very luxurious, but sometimes it's just not really enough in there. And I don't know, for me, my heart says go for the Boar. And then to close it all off, for today, the Captain's Choice Venture, which is Creed Aventus scented witch hazel, alcohol, glycerin fragrance. A very simple aftershave, but has proven to be very effective for me. I love the scent. It is lightly scented. You're not going to get a strong, overpowering hit of the scent, but the scent begins to build a little bit once you put it on. After the first 5 or 10 minutes, definitely there. Light, but there. I like how it makes my skin feel. It is definitely an aftershave. It is not meant to be a moisturizing balm, so take that into account when you use it. Well, that's it again. Thank you so much again for watching. I really appreciate the time you're taking to watch these reviews. I appreciate the questions and comments. Of course, please feel free to continue to post questions or comments against this video or any previous video. Thanks again so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.